Hi everyone, Firzj here. While everyone is posting build guides and sharing their tips for the game, I decided to cover my own topic on what I actually hate in Diablo 4. I believe that many other players like Creep or Mtashed have already covered this topic, but I want to give my own sense on this issue. And before you criticize me, I must say that for the most time I played, I rather enjoyed this game, but as I expected, it definitely requires more polishing. Nothing is perfect and Diablo 4 is no exclusion. So of course there are bugs and balancing issues. The world is huge, the amount of quests is just astonishing, but Blizzard obviously didn't give players a chance to test an entire game beforehand, unless you are a privileged streamer or a journalist who never played video games before and gives it solid 9 out of 10 score. Anyway, I think that there is nothing wrong with sharing pros and cons on anything, and it's just my opinion. So when I finished the story, I casually played some PvP, Hell Tides, Legions, Trio Bounties, Dungeons and World Bosses, pretty much everything the endgame has to offer, and I've noticed that this game is far from perfect. I guess it's going to be a simple list of things that I find inconvenient, I don't know. I have no intention to roast this game, I'm just giving my facts and mentioning things which must be addressed by Blizzard. So first of all, when I played this game with my friend, first thing we've noticed was the inventory. The inventory in Diablo 4 is now much more simplified and there is no more Tetris management as it was in Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. However, there is still one small problem. No matter what you pick, armor, rings, gems or two-handed swords, they occupy exactly one slot. As a result, my inventory was overpiled quickly with plenty of rares, jewelry and unnecessary low-tier gems that serve no purpose on high difficulty levels like Nightmare or Torment. When we played the story endgame activities, I have also encountered several times one annoying bug which didn't allow me to press my abilities. No matter what I used, my abilities, my dash or teleport, it simply didn't work. It was absolutely painful to encounter this bug when I was almost at the end of the dungeon or played a story quest. And imagine what would happen if I played on hardcore. Speaking of endgame activities, this game doesn't inform you about the upcoming world bosses, Hell Tides or Legions. I mean, yes, the game shows a message that the world boss spawns in half an hour or Legion icon pops up at the corner of your map, but you still have to constantly check your map and search among all the icons for the event you want. While you are in a dungeon or stay AFK, there is a high chance that you'll just miss the activity completely. This game desperately needs a schedule, aka event calendar, or at least a text message in your chat. PvP zones are definitely not balanced. You can easily encounter some pro gangers who are several levels above you and one-shot you. This is especially noticeable if you are playing on tier 3 because a level 80-100 player can lower the difficulty from tier 4 back to tier 3 and one-shot everyone in PvP zone, as other low-level players don't pose a threat. If you are lucky, you may only meet friendly players who kill monsters in peace, finish events or kill the boss to get the shards and then take them to the altar. So yes, gankers is the problem in PvP. Legendary sacred items are great, but it's not very motivating to use them and spend your precious resources with gold, because you realize that World Tier 4 will later allow you to find and equip ancestral items which are the best in the game. I've noticed that many players simply rush to Tier 3 only after to clear the Fallen Temple at the lowest possible level like 55 or 61, while the enemies are level 70 plus, and they barely made any challenge even to my Necromancer. Or you could just make a 4-man group and cheese this dungeon and proceed to T4 even if you are 20 levels below the requirement. Surely T4 is going to be a painful experience, but you receive the best items in the game and tons of XP. Stash is also relatively small. I think it is even smaller than in Diablo 2 Resurrected because of the single Tetris slots. Here you can only have 4 stash tabs. Extra tabs will definitely come later in the season or from the in-game shop, but for now it's not enough to store all your items, aspects or gems. Additionally, there is no search bar in your stash window, so you have no other option but to manually look by yourself. When I play with my friends, we usually discuss together what to do next, and for this we have to use pins. While they are pretty useful and they help you navigate in the open world, other players barely see these pins and you have to really watch closely to your map to finally find what other players trying to show you before it's too late. Plus there is no ping option to drop a banner or ping your minimap as it was in World of Warcraft to instantly show something to your party members. Horses are also kind of disappointing, but let me explain my point. I think it's 50-50 actually, not great, not terrible. The fact that you received your first horse only especially after Act 3, is extremely late in my opinion. Even if you skip all the side quests and dungeons and only follow the story, it is still late. When me and my friends started the game, we tried to clear every single side quest and dungeons. As a result, we were like level 40 already and we haven't even started Act 2. This decision later turned out bad, obviously, because the map was getting bigger and we still had no mounts. We were kinda tired of this, so we had to rush our story just to finally unlock our damn mounts. I understand that Blizzard possibly made this decision to let players explore the open world more and ride less, but giving access to mounts exclusively through the story is lame. Similar issue also was in vanilla Destiny 2 for riding sparrows. Another point regarding horses is controls. The horse moves slow if your cursor is close to your character. I think it's pretty useful for console players to cut corners smoothly, but doing this with your mouse is not convenient. When it's time to turn, you intuitively point your mouse on the turn, but it's hard to explain. I think you can feel it when you are riding on a narrow road or in a town and the turn is right at the foot of your hero. And one more thing regarding the horse is that you cannot recall your horse for 10 seconds. This is especially annoying when you need to go up or down a mountain or ladder, only after to realize that you still can't summon your horse because it's on cooldown. When we played in a group, most of the time we struggled to teleport to each other. For some reason Blizzard decided to return to the roots and give players an option to teleport to other players only from the major towns like Kyovashat. What's more annoying is that these portals sometimes didn't work at all. One or another player would interact with the portal and it wouldn't initiate TP. Refreshing the portal or creating a new party solved this issue. Social features. Just one question. Where the hell are they? There is no global chat nor communities in this game. Was it so hard to implement this feature straight from World of Warcraft or Diablo 3? I don't know. I guess there is no other choice but to create a clan for specific interests such as PvP, dungeons farm, power leveling, seasons or trading specifically. Do we really have to play semi-MMO without the ability to communicate normally, go to public activities and make new friends? And the chat seems to be dead, no one is talking or trading with anyone. You can't even whisper a player next to you if you want to ask something. You have to use a local chat which is tied to the current zone you are in. Paragon Board, or specifically its refund feature. I have nothing bad to say about this feature, but why there's no option to refund your Paragon tree? I guess Blizzard didn't play their own game or never tried different builds to realize how painful this is to change builds. You basically have to manually undo all the nodes you unlocked. Speaking of the skill tree, I think it's quite obvious that this UI was heavily designed for console players thanks to these keywords. Although this feature is great, it is still far from perfect because there is no option to search for specific skills and your passives. You will definitely face this problem once you obtain an amulet with a passive rune. It doesn't explain what this passive does and you have to manually search for that in your skill tree window. I also have some questions regarding a Renown system, specifically for new characters and upcoming seasons. This feature is great when you are playing your first character and progressing through the story, but leveling a second character or starting fresh on a new season is very demotivating. The amount of collectibles is just insane. It feels like I need to reopen all the chests from Assassin's Creed Unity again and again on every new character. Of course nobody forces you to do that, but you'll definitely miss plenty of waypoints, side quests and XP because of that. While altars of leader stats and renowned skill points are account wide, you won't get all that when you join the season. Just as in Diablo 2 or Diablo 3, when you start a new season you'll have to start over and complete plenty of side quests, dungeons and altars to empower your hero. As this MMO game now takes a different approach, I think this fresh leveling formula doesn't work well anymore because of the large amount of content and an open world map. Personally, I would like to see a progression system from Destiny 2 or any other similar game where each new season simply increases the level cap without forcing players to start a new character and refarming every single activity. Imagine if Destiny players had to start fresh class each time the season starts. Would you play this MMO game from scratch? I don't think so. And that is all for now. This was the list of missing and bugged features which I encountered during my play. I still play and enjoy Diablo 4, but in my opinion it requires way more polishing to justify the price tag. Do you agree or disagree with this video? Share your opinions in the comments below. If you want to support my work, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and please follow me on Patreon, the link is in the video. Also special thanks to my Patreon member Michael Kumbler. Thank you for watching and listening, have a nice day and stay safe.